Jai Gurudev, everyone. Good morning. For this morning, I choose the Canto 10, chapter 11, verse 10 and 11 of the Shreemad Bhagavatam, and is the moral number 20 of the paints that we have here. Palabrika ninitasya chuttadanya karadayam palair apurayadranni palavandam apuricham Krinihi bopalaniti shrutiva satvaram achutam palarti danyanam madhyam yayu sarva pala pradam. So, sorry. The moral number 20 is the fruit seller of Braj. When little Krishna, you will listen to the story now, but he exchanged a handful of rice for the fruits of a lady. It says like this. Once a fruit seller started calling, "O residents of the land of Braj, if you want to buy some fruits, please come here." As soon as Krishna listened to this woman's call, he immediately took some grains to exchange for fruits as if he needed them. While Krishna was going to the fruit vendor very hastily, most of the grains he was holding fell. Nonetheless, the fruit vendor filled Krishna's hands with fruits, and her fruit basket was immediately filled with jewels and gold. Guruji is telling the story. He says, Krishna went inside the kitchen, carefully looking around, making sure Yashoda, his mother, wouldn't see him. He quickly took a handful of rice. While he was carrying it in his little hand, the rice kept falling down, all the way until he reached the fruit seller. At that time, there was just a little bit of rice left in his little hand, and he gave it into the hand of the lady. This event was so sweet, it was so loving and so innocent, that the lady kept smiling, looking at Krishna, saying, "Please, Krishna, put this rice here." Then she filled the hands of Krishna with a lot of fruits. Krishna was very happy and started eating them. She took the grains of rice as a blessing, as a token of love, and very humbly she put them in her basket. She went back home, and on the way, she felt that the basket was getting heavier and heavier. She was wondering, what is happening? So she took the basket from her head and placed it down on the ground. She looked inside the basket with amazement. The basket was full of precious, glittering gems. She was so shocked and filled with so much love that she didn't know what to say. So, as we know, and in that moment of India, rice is like the cheapest thing that you can find, grains. Now, if you are the poorest guy, you always will have a little bit of grain in your house. Same in the story of Sudama. When he has nothing to take for Krishna, they ask a neighbor, and actually he was also a poor man, the neighbor, and he could take just a little bit of rice to take to the Lord. So, what makes this lady actually, what makes this Lila interesting is that when she takes the basket of fruits down and she sees full of jewelry, it's because she's accepting the value of what Krishna is giving to her. It's not that the rice is worthy or is precious. No, the rice in itself is nothing. But she took it as prasad, right? She said, I will not give my own perception of what is this worth, because by itself rice is nothing. But she preferred to give the value that Krishna was giving. I'm meditating in these verses actually quite a few days, because as you know, I think we all come here like a crime was committed and everybody come here and give his birth, his opinion of the matter, that Guruji mentioned in a satsang a time ago, like 10 days ago, about an episode that we don't evaluate the prasad that he's giving at his table. So I was actually coming to the bungalow a little bit late that night. I came in, I bowed down, and immediately I realized that it's like an uncomfortable silence in the room. I see Guruji, and he has this face like, do your thing and move. And all the guys, they are just standing there silently, all watching at Guruji. So realizing that something was going on, and I just came in an awkward moment, I rushed and stayed behind the last Prabhu of the group. And I asked him, like, what happened? What happened? And he said, Aditya, we forgot Giridhari's prasad yesterday on the table. And as a rule, we should never do that. Like, we know when we leave the Guruji's place, all the prasad must be eaten. We should eat it every night. So, what Guruji says that night, he say, you don't know what I'm giving to you, what Giridhari is giving to you. Now you will not receive it again. And hopefully you will realize what are you losing. The difficult thing, as Rishi Akash also spoke a few days ago in a satsang, is it's actually really difficult to evaluate this, because we are with our limited mind, and how is possible to grasp the huge amount of blessings that Guruji is giving us? So with the mind, we can say, yeah, it's a huge blessing, but we don't feel it. I don't feel it. I'm limited to that. So what happened one time ago with Guruji? We were in the church. Was Christmas, and all the residents were called inside of the church with Guruji. He was very upset because we were not studying. We were using our time for something else, and the general knowledge of the ashram was very low. So Guruji, after telling us that he was not happy with us, he says, do you have any question? And I was quite new here at that moment. And of course I had a question, but that was not the moment for asking it, because the atmosphere again was sharp silence. So I should keep quiet, but I didn't. I just lifted my hand. And Guruji just looked at me and he said, you shut up, you should not even be here. I was like, I don't know, a few months only in the ashram. So I came out offended. He was giving things, and I didn't take them because I was so offended with his answer that I just ran away. Then he found me in the Krishna lounge, and he said, hey, you, what did you want to ask? And so I said, Guruji, why I don't have the feeling for studying? Why I don't have this motivation for studying? And he just grabbed a knife and pointing at me. He says like, what? Are you saying I'm not giving you the motivation for studying? And I say like, no, I mean that I don't have, and he just walked away. I say, that was weird. Like I told him I don't have the motivation, and he answered me, you say I'm not giving it to you. So then I didn't get it neither at that moment. So then I was speaking with Brindavandas, I think. And he said, man, it's so clear. Like he's giving it to you. You are just not able to waking it up or something. Just meditate on that. And I think it's so merciful, like he's creating all of this drama for giving us the opportunity to appreciate it, because he is giving it. He's giving us the full grace all the time. And when we are opening for it, we receive it. But when we are not opening for it, doesn't mean that the potential to be open for it is not there. He says, I'm giving it to you. Why you say I'm not giving it to you? So something inside of us, it needs to change in order to open for that, right? And actually, this is what is happening. He's not giving prasad anymore. He's very tough. If you find a little piece of prasad in the floor, it's like a black market after. You have all the problems that they wanted. And one day I saw that Guruji is giving a little piece of corn to Pankaj. Pankaj take it and goes away. So I keep that in mind, and I go down to Pankaj's kitchen after. I check in his compost, and I say, oh, this is the corn that Guruji gave to him. So, of course, I chew it, I take a little piece of it. I think I boil it also, and I drink the water, for then realizing actually that was Keshavas, Swami's Keshavas corn, not, or Pankaj left, but was not the one of Guruji. So somehow it activates in the whole group, actually. Like, you have like a ninja squad trying to find the prasad, or I was checking on the sink if there's some leftover, because he's washing the plate by himself. He don't want us to even to do that, to touch his plate. And even if you say like, yeah, it's tough, he's not giving us prasad anymore, but actually he's giving us a lot. He's giving us the opportunity to appreciate it. That was not there before, for it seems not for me. And actually, I need to confess something else that, don't tell Guruji. I was walking down one time with the prasad. And, trying to open the door here in the ashram. Yeah, better cut this part later. So I'm trying to go inside of the ashram. I cannot open the door. I'm with the whole traces in my hand. And one of the traces falls down on the floor in the reception of the ashram. Luckily, it's like 1:30 in the morning, so there is not so many people to see it, except a Prabhu and a Mataji. They immediately start helping me. We take all the prasad, we clean it as we can, and there is a little bit of leftover in the floor. So I go for a brush and for a shovel for taking it and drop it to the nature, right? And when I'm going to do it, this Mataji look at me and he say like, no, wait. And she starts taking it from the floor and eating it. From the reception entrance where everybody is walking, right? In the carpet. I mean, the housekeeping is doing a great job. It's super clean. But anyhow, like, it's the places that more people walk in the ashram. And she started eating it. And in that moment, actually, it came to my mind, like how less I'm appreciating what Guruji is giving. But luckily, there is people that they appreciate it. So at least Guruji is helping us to develop that appreciation. And when that appreciation will open us enough, his blessing will flow through us. Somehow, I think in this path to appreciation, I feel that many times I'm in the hypocrisy field, because, of course, you don't feel it, or I don't feel it, and I try to feel it. And many times these questions arise to Guruji in the satsang. Guruji, I don't feel the deities. I don't feel when I do puja. I don't feel when I do that. I don't feel when I do my sadhana. What's wrong with me? No? But as I said in the experience before in the church, Guruji is giving it. We just need to keep trying. Even if we go through some hypocrisy moments, we need to keep trying until that becomes a reality and we really appreciate what he's giving. One day after this episode, like 1 week after, I saw that Guruji is eating some things with the hand. So it's my opportunity to show him that now I appreciate prasad. So I take a finger bowl for him. He cleans his fingers and he tells me, throw it away. I put my face of dry potato, like, Guruji, are we going to drop this prasad? It's so value, no? It's so worthy, like. And he just looked at me with his face like, don't come with this crap to me. He took it from my hands, went outside, threw it to the nature, came back, and he said like, go away from my house and never return. Immediately inside was, yeah, Aditya, you are such an hypocrite, Of course he knows, like you don't appreciate it yet. But at least I was giving my shot. So I said, he said, do you understand? I said, yes, Guruji. Confident, because I understood. It was completely an hypocrite. So I went down and said like, yeah, it's true, nothing to say. I don't feel it. I'm just trying to feel it. And in that moment, Anantachita runs down and tells me like, Aditya, Guruji is calling you. So 5 minutes later, I'm again in the bungalow and in the apartment, and Guruji is doing jokes like nothing happened. So my conclusion of this is he's giving it. We just need to discover it. Now I'm in the process to the right appreciation. And hopefully, one day, I will be able to be in that state. That is not only in the mind, it's in the whole body. Like sometimes I feel him. And the funny thing is that it looks like he's doing it, like he makes everything that it looks like we are doing him a favor. You know? But actually, he's doing all of this for us. All what he's doing all the time is for helping us to change, to open ourselves to the huge amount of grace that he came to give us. So, yeah, nothing else to say. It's beautiful to walk this path and try to be open a little bit more every day. Jai Gurudev.
Namaste Narasinghaye